Hello, I am Everett Maxine, and I would like to thank you for listening in to The Absence of Her. Please like, follow, and most importantly, share. If you learn from defeat, you haven't really lost. Zig Ziglar. I must be transparent, as I have promised since the beginning of my podcast. This month has not been easy. This month is both the birthdays of my mother who passed in the summer of 2018 and my father the summer of 2014. I excitedly shared with you, my listeners, that every week in October I would celebrate my mother by sharing fond memories of her. I had a full eventful weekend for her birthday planned so I could remain distracted and focused on enjoying life. The first weekend in October, my high school class would celebrate our 20th reunion. It was my intention to celebrate with them on Friday night, head to Dallas Saturday morning to attend the Texas State Fair, along with celebrating my nephew's birthday and some one-on-one time with my oldest sister. My plans didn't stop there. While in Dallas, I planned to visit a friend who is like a sister to me and her newborn son. And last but not least, reconnect with an old college friend and attend church with her. But none of that happened. As Mom's birthday approached, my sadness grew and my productivity level of completing homework assignments decreased, leaving me swamped and stressed for much of my needed 5 days off from work. I avoided logging into social media for days. My therapist and I discussed my days off would consist of no traveling, just rest, prayer, and time with God. I felt uncomfortable counseling my plans with loved ones. I was looking forward to see them, but it was necessary. My denial was that it was necessary for me to get some rest. That between working 1.5 jobs and being a full-time student, I used little of my day for rest. I used a few momentary hours, usually 3 to 4 hours a day, to sleep. But rest, not so much. You see, sleeping is just when our nervous system is relatively inactive. The eyes closed, muscles relaxed, and consciousness practically suspended. While rest, we cease to engage in any stressful or strenuous activity, allowing oneself to refresh, reset, and recover one's strength. Have you ever gone to sleep with aches and pains and woke up with those same aches and pains? Do you release your worries to God in prayer before closing your eyes so that the enemy doesn't destroy your ability to rest? Or do you keep the problems of your day on your mind, only to wake up irritable and full of negativity because you have carried yesterday into today? How many of you are sleeping but not resting? A good rest always brings about clarity instead of confusion. People will stand before others and with ease display their strengths, but their weaknesses, they would rather be hidden. Why is that when we all are humans created with both strengths and weaknesses? In order to have an authentic connection with each other, families, friends, whoever, we must be honest with ourselves and others. My truth, I was ready to give up podcasting because I was overcome with grief and did not follow my plans to share with my listeners my fond memories of my mother as scheduled. But know that I still will. And maybe what I experienced was necessary so that I could speak on her with even greater love because I had now accepted the greatness of my loss. My 5-day stretch off from work, I would spend avoiding social media. Anytime I thought about her upcoming birthday, I would begin to feel uncomfortable and uneasy. I really didn't even want to acknowledge her birthday. But what would others think? her Facebook friends when they received the birthday alert, and I would post no acknowledgement at all. It was Saturday, October the 5th, 2019, and as usual, I was lounging in bed. I don't remember why I wanted to log into Facebook, but I did, and it was only intended for a second. But the very thing I was avoiding was the very thing I saw. Those Facebook memories. Mom's photo holding the flowers I purchased for her first birthday without my father. I logged off immediately, but it was too late. The emotions I had not allowed to surface broke free. There was no emotional block that could have held the flood of tears. The more I tried to stop crying, the more I cried. I tried to call someone, but they were unavailable. I realized in that moment, even though I cried until I felt sick, my grieving was necessary. Acknowledging that her absence affected me greatly was necessary. But what about all those that were inspired by my strength? Sorry, listeners. I am Everett Maxine, not Superwoman. I am human and I speak so that you too will have the courage to be human. The courage to share yourself so that another imperfect being will not feel shame when their life seems a little difficult. My truth? I can't look at my mother's photos. Seeing her happy face saddens me, that I will not hear her voice or her laughter any longer. Although I'm happy she has gained her wings, I wrestle with finding closure, complete closure. I always visioned in preparing her final moments I would get to view her, laying in her casket at peace, but that couldn't happen. There are days I feel I was robbed and alone, wondering why God allowed me to go through so much in such a short time. And when I get out of self and end my pity party, I realize in the words of Aventer Gray, I am that one. I am that one that God knew would share my truth so that others would be drawn to him. I am that one that was set apart since birth and okay with not being like everyone else. I am that one that will share her hurts, weaknesses, and shames for God's glory, not moved by the opinions of others. I am that one that knows when the weight gets great, God is trying to build my muscles. For people that lift weights, they don't just lift pounds and be satisfied. The goal is to work towards being able to train to hold more weight, which can't be done completely on their own, but takes patience, practice, and guidance. As believers can become complacent, God needs us studying the Word, praying daily, and seeking ways to increase in Him. That has been part of my own problem. Skip devotional today. Next thing you know, it's been a week. Sleeping in one Sunday morning. Next day you know, a month has passed. So when I'm hit with difficulty, I am not spiritually equipped. I'm pretty sure many of you can relate. The grieving process has no timestamp. If God has allowed you the opportunity to walk into your purpose, it takes work. Just because a person is gifted to sing doesn't mean they never need to practice. And most importantly, you have to protect your gift. I said all of this to say there is no shame in grieving. Allow your heart and your tears to be released, and the memories of them to bring you comfort. I'm not a failure. I'm human, a flawed and beautifully imperfect woman of God. The only failure is not getting back up to try again. So whatever has kept you stagnant or made you feel your efforts were pointless, as long as you have breath in your body, you have the opportunity to try again. anything that will bring you happiness, the enemy will try to discourage you from. I am encouraging myself today that I want to lead by example, by displaying my courage through vulnerability. I won't stop podcasting as long as I have life experiences to share to help your growth. Strive to be a better you each day, in your own lane, making the best impact possible. Pray, press, and stay positive. I am Everett Maxine, and I want to thank you for listening in to The Absence of Her. Please remember to like, follow, and most importantly, share. When everything seems to be going against you, remember that the airplane takes off against the wind, not with it.